you're about to do chest flies on the cable flies. So I have a video describing how to set up the cables safely and efficiently depending on what exercise you're about to do. So you've set up the cables, now you're wanting to do the chest flies efficiently. I want you to use these tips so you can go ahead and safely execute the chest flies and of course get that muscle growth. Let's dive in. Before we fully start, notice and listen how the setup is almost all the same. Once you have set your cables, whether it's above, parallel to your chest, or below, obviously it's working different parts, the upper, the middle part of the chest, or the lower part of the chest, the setup is all the same. Grab onto the cable fly handle. Chest out, slightly retract your scapula backwards. Your feet positioning, you can either have them shoulder width apart or like the example you're seeing, one leg in front of the other. For me personally, it gives me more stability and balance. But if you feel more comfortable with your legs shoulder width apart, then that's fine. Find what works for you. But personally, I feel like having one leg in front of the other adds more stability and balance to your exercise. Remember, the cables are parallel from each other and your positioning where you'll be standing will be slightly in front of it. This means for your starting position, you're going to retract the scapula backwards, basically meaning retracting the back of the shoulders backwards. What does that do? It pulls onto the chest. So the chest now gets a full stretch. Think of it as an eccentric contraction. There is no rush here. Allow your chest to be fully stretched. Once you feel your chest is fully stretched, that is around the mark when your elbows are almost in line with your shoulders, the back of your shoulders and your upper back. Follow the motion and keep it natural and bring the cables towards your midline position. This is where people usually go wrong. Could this be you? Why you're thinking? Because as people are bringing it towards the midline position, the elbow starts to bend uncontrollably, and too much bend in the elbows takes the pressure off the chests. You want to keep that full contraction in those chests or the pectorals. Keep the elbows slightly bent throughout the movement and keep the movement the same and natural. Remember homeostasis, the same state. Back to that midline position. Once you have reached the midline position, take it back to the starting position. That is 1 rep. A key tip, as you are bringing it towards the midline position, watch my hand positioning. Either you can bring it parallel to each other or you can slightly go beyond parallel. When I mean going beyond parallel, your hands go past the meat. Everyone's going to be slightly different, but for me, when using the mind to muscle connection, I feel like it gets more of a stretch and a squeeze in those chests. Find which positioning works for you, but at the end of the day, your main aim is getting that mind to muscle connection and getting as much squeeze into that chest as possible. So of course, it grows over time. Rep ranges are anywhere between 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets and then move on. Breathing, take a deep breath on the eccentric phase, so the lengthening of the chest, and on the concentric phase, the contraction of the chest. Breathe out, as you're bringing it towards the midline position, exhale. And there you have it. That is how you successfully do the cable flies.